Today, we visit Skyloft to meet Elara, a girl with big dreams and even bigger inventions. She's not just a dreamer, she's an inventor. We will learn essential vocabulary about engineering, problem-solving, and the wonders of physics. Look at her goggles and messy hair. She is determined to fix the world. Let's dive into her story and expand our vocabulary together. The village of Skyloft relies on complex machinery. Here, steam powers everything from the lights to the massive windmills, keeping us afloat. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze information objectively and make a reasoned judgment. It is the key to solving any complex problem. Physics is the branch of science concerned with the nature and properties of matter and energy. Elara uses it to understand the world. Steam-powered machines use the force produced by steam pressure to create motion. It is the heart of every device in the village of Skyloft. To be ingenious means to be clever, original, and inventive. Elara might seem clumsy, but her mind is truly a brilliant work of art. Elara was often known as the clumsy girl because she frequently dropped things. Clumsy describes someone who moves or handles things in a careless way. The villagers watched as she stumbled through the workshop. They didn't see the genius hidden behind her awkward movements and scattered metal parts. Deep inside the central mechanical workshop, the steampunk pipes were beginning to show their age. Rust and wear were threatening the village's survival. The central waterfall was the lifeblood of the village. It provided water for drinking, farming, and cooling the massive steam engines below. Suddenly, the steam-powered pump began to shudder. A loud mechanical failure was imminent as the pressure gauges spiked into the dangerous red zone. With a sudden bang, a pipe burst, steam hissed into the air, and the great pump came to a grinding, silent halt. The water stopped. Panic spread quickly among the citizens. Without the water flow, the equilibrium of their floating home was in grave danger of being lost forever. The pipes were severely clogged with mineral deposits. A clog is a blockage that prevents liquid from flowing freely through a tube or pipe. Leakage was everywhere. A leak occurs when a liquid or gas escapes through a hole or crack. The system was failing at every single joint. While others panicked, Elara stepped forward. She saw the mechanical failure not as a disaster, but as a puzzle that needed a logical solution. She noticed the extreme pressure readings. High pressure can be dangerous, but it also contains the energy needed to restart the entire system. Proper maintenance could have prevented this, but now it was too late for simple repairs. The village needed a completely new and innovative approach. Elara retreated to her workshop to think. Critical thinking involves analyzing the problem from every possible angle to find the most efficient solution. She studied gravity, the force that attracts a body toward the center of the earth. Understanding gravity is crucial for moving water uphill. Next, she examined the siphon effect. This physical phenomenon allows liquid to flow upward through a tube before flowing back down to a lower level. She used physics to calculate the exact water pressure needed. Physics helps us predict how objects will behave under different environmental conditions. A lever is a simple machine consisting of a beam or rigid rod pivoted at a fixed hinge or fulcrum. It multiplies force. A pulley is a wheel on an axle that is designed to support movement and change of direction of a taut cable or belt. Gears are toothed wheels that work together to alter the relation between the speed of a driving mechanism and the speed of the driven parts. She visited the scrapyard to find materials. To innovate means to make changes in something established, especially by introducing new methods or ideas. To assemble means to fit together the separate component parts of a machine or other object. Elara worked tirelessly through the night. She began to assemble a high-pressure pump combined with a multi-stage filtration system. Every weld had to be perfect to withstand the upcoming stress. She connected the pipes with precision. Her clumsy hands were now steady and sure, guided by the clear logic of her brilliant scientific mind. This new filter would prevent future clogs. By filtering the water before it reached the pump, she ensured the longevity of the entire system. The gear mechanism was designed to increase torque. Torque is a twisting force that tends to cause rotation, essential for heavy-duty pumping. Focus is key. Elara stayed concentrated on her task, ignoring the fatigue and the weight of the village's expectations resting on her shoulders. Her blueprints seemed to come alive. She could visualize the water flowing through the conduits even before the first bolt was tightened in place. She used an old engine heart as the core. Reusing discarded materials is a sustainable way to build new technology in a resource-limited environment. Finally, the prototype was ready. A prototype is a first, typical or preliminary model of something, from which other forms are developed or copied. As the sun rose over Skyloft, Elara prepared to move her invention. The fate of the village hung in the balance of her calculations. Elara hauled her invention to the highest water tower. Success is often a result of trial and error, and she was ready for the test. The villagers gathered below, watching with a mixture of doubt and hope. They had never seen such a strange-looking machine before today. She carefully placed the device onto the main intake valve. The stability of the platform was critical for the high-pressure operation she planned. She connected the final lever. A lever allows a small force to move a much larger weight, making it a fundamental tool in engineering. With a deep breath, Elara pulled the handle. The internal gears began to rotate slowly, creating a low hum that vibrated through the floor. Steam began to rise from the vents. The heat was being converted into mechanical energy, just as she had calculated in her early morning sketches. The entire tower began to shake. This was the moment of truth. Would the pipes hold under the immense pressure she was creating? A faint gurgle could be heard from deep within the earth. Water was being drawn up from the lower reservoirs against the pull of gravity. Suddenly, a joint began to spray water. A minor error in the seal threatened to ruin the entire process and cause a total failure. Elara didn't panic. She knew that every trial comes with errors. She grabbed her heavy wrench and rushed toward the spraying leak immediately. She applied torque to the bolt. By rotating the wrench with all her might, she sealed the gap and stopped the dangerous water leakage. The pressure gauge stabilized. Stability means the state of being firm and steady. Her quick thinking had saved the machine from tearing itself apart. A deep, rhythmic vibration replaced the frantic shaking. The pump was now working in harmony with the natural flow of the water system. The first drop of crystal-clear water emerged from the primary spout. It was followed by a steady stream that grew stronger every single second. The water flowed through the transparent conduits Elara had installed. The visual confirmation of the flow was a relief to everyone watching below. A massive cheer erupted from the town square. The water was back, and it was cleaner and stronger than it had ever been before. The dry fountains in the plaza suddenly burst into life. The sound of splashing water was music to the ears of the parched citizens. Elara wiped the sweat and grease from her forehead. Her prototype had worked perfectly, proving that her unique perspective was a gift, not a curse. As the sun began to set, the village of Skyloft was safe. The water crisis was over, thanks to science, physics, and one brave girl. The village held a grand ceremony to honor Elara. She was no longer seen as the clumsy girl, but as a brilliant and celebrated genius. Elara smiled, her confidence shining brighter than her goggles. She had learned that resilience is the key to overcoming any obstacle in life. Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Toughness. It is what allowed Elara to keep trying when things went wrong. Mechanics is the branch of applied mathematics of physics, which deals with the motion and forces producing motion. Elara mastered it to save her home. A solution is a means of solving a problem or dealing with a difficult situation. Elara's solution was both elegant and highly effective. An invention is a unique or novel device, method, composition, or process. Elara's water pump will be used for generations to come. The villagers now looked at the world differently. They realized that innovation comes from those who dare to think outside the box. Skyloft returned to its peaceful state, floating gracefully among the clouds. The sound of humming machinery and flowing water was a constant comfort. Elara is already working on her next invention. She knows that with science and perseverance, there is no problem that cannot be solved. Let's recap our words: invention, resilience, mechanics, and solution. These are the tools of a genius. Keep practicing these terms every single day. Thank you for joining Elara on her journey today. We hope you enjoyed learning English with us. Don't forget to subscribe for more adventures.